Okay, so I'm literally just crocheting, minding my business, and it dawns on me that I haven't made this video that I got from God in January. I guess at the time it wasn't something that I thought I had to make, but now it's like I need to make it. So I'm gonna share a dream that I had, and I'm also gonna include what I wrote in my notes that night, because I think it's, if you see it, then it's easy for you to understand, or maybe it might not. Let me just show you. Before I show it to you, I'm gonna explain to you something, because people might think it's vulgar, but there's a part, which is the first line. It says burger, and then it's like equals, the burger is big male part, and I wrote it in the exact words that I heard God saying it at that time, which was pretty much at night. And what that means is, you guys remember the time that Jeffrey Epstein case was going on, and all the code words started to come out, what pizza meant, what Pizzagate meant, all of this stuff. One of the words that God gave me for what code word they use was burger, and I didn't know that burger. I thought burger already existed in the Pizzagate situation, but they also refer burger to big, let me just show you the notes now. So underneath that, you can now finally see the statement. Underneath that, I got this dream where I wrote the most significant part that I could remember of this dream, which was, so I had a dream where I saw this man wearing this black mask, and it was like a lion's mask. So it was literally just like a, you know how people go to masquerades and they wear masks? It was like that. He was wearing a lion mask. You can't see anything of his face. It was just a huge mask, and the lion mask had glasses on them. So it was like, on the mask there was glasses, like you would get at a kid's party, something like that, but obviously not really paper. It was better material. And this man was, it was dark, it was at night, and there was no one on the streets, so it was like deep night. That's why I wrote like it was a late night. And he was riding in a black car, not just like a regular schmegular car, but one of those like an Addison Lee, like exactly like an Addison Lee, like in that kind of van state situation, but it's not really a van, but it's like that kind of big kind of car in that way. Anyways, I got this dream on the 8th, on the 9th of January 2025. And then I don't know how this conversation started with me and God, but at 8 in the morning, he reveals to me that the guy that I'm seeing is Starmer. He's one of the prime ministers, I think, in this country, in England. And the guy that was wearing the mask was him. Now, let me explain to you why all this comes together. This guy, he was on his way to a masquerade party at late night, and I knew in the dream that this party that he was going to involved something to do with children, and whatever they were doing with children was not good. I remember in the dream running away from what I saw into this place where there was only one store that was open, and because it was late London, there was only one store that was open. And I remember running into that store that was open. There was no one inside of it, and it was the only place that I could be safe. And I went into that place, and I told the man, like, look what happened. This is what I saw. It felt safe in the place, so I ended up waking up after I ran into the place. But the premise of the dream was this guy who was wearing this mask, and he was on his way to this masquerade party, and it wasn't a party that was just like a regular schmegular party, because it was at late hours of the night. There was no one on the streets, and I know that underneath what he was wearing, he was naked. I don't know how I know that, but I know what he was wearing. He was naked, and all he had on was a mask. I know the notes doesn't make sense. That's because when I'm writing this stuff down, it's probably like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'm doing it half asleep. But I know what I saw, like where it says like mask in long in his big black car. I know that makes no sense, but I know that it meant to say robe instead of long, because I saw him wearing a robe, a black robe. It wasn't like he was wearing a suit or anything. It was something that he was wearing to cover himself. And he was naked underneath. That's how I remember he was naked underneath. I didn't obviously see his nakedness, but then a few days later, that's when God was like, the guy that you saw with the mask, that was Tamara. And I was kind of shocked, because I was like, what is going on? Anyway, this video is a long time coming. I was supposed to make it. I thought I was supposed to make it, but now is the time that I'm actually being pushed to make it more. At the time, I thought it was just for me, for my information. Like, nah, this is what's going on in the country that you're at. This isn't the first time that God has spoken about like England and like the things that happen here. I'm pretty sure I've got a video on YouTube. Let me just get it up. Called The Destruction of the British Monarchy. God gave me this word back last year in 2024. So it's not the first time that God has spoken to me about this thing, but there's things that God tells me that I think it's just for me, and then at the end of the day, he's like, "Nah, you need to tell people," and I'm like, okay. So is what I came here to do, and this is this is the only thing that I have